Georgi, here is another take on the same issue, this time from head of audit and consultancy company TPsolutions. Our journalist, Shota Tkashelashvili, conducted a very interesting interview, further dwelling into some more details of the government's initiative to grant, as you have rightfully mentioned, shipping, logistics and trading companies and IT companies tax benefits if they receive the status of international companies. Let's watch and listen to an expert.
Gela, thank you for interview. Let's start with question about international companies. Georgian government just unveiled new tax exemptions for international companies. Can you tell us what benefits those companies can get from this new regulation?
Hello, Shota. Thanks for the invitation. Yes, international companies will enjoy a low taxation. In particular, 5% of corporate income tax will be applicable instead of 15%, 0% withholding tax on dividend instead of 5%, and 5% wage tax instead of 20%. So, in addition, international companies in some cases will be exempted from property tax. Also, they will be able to decrease the base of corporate income tax with salary expenses paid to Georgian resident natural persons and R&D, research and developing expenses conducted in Georgian territory. So at the end of the day, they might end up paying 0 corporate income tax and only 5% of wage tax, which is of course very highly beneficial for many companies.
And what are the preconditions for obtaining this status?
First of all, only two fields of business can obtain international company status. Those are IT companies and shipping marine business. Another precondition is that they should have at least 2 years experience in the field, and for IT sphere of business they should be doing IT activity based on service contract, which means that they should not, for example, they should not build their own application or software and get income from the software as royalty, etc. No, they should be building application based on contract for someone else. So it should be provision of service, not building their own intangibles. Plus, I would add one thing. There should be business substance demonstrated by them, which means that they should not open only letterbox company, so-called. They should really hire staff, rent office, and really do business in Georgia.
As you said, IT companies will be applicable for this status, and as we know, there is another status of virtual zone person for IT companies. What is the difference between a virtual zone person and the international company status?
The first difference is taxation. Virtual zone persons are all exempted from corporate income tax, but they pay ordinary rate 5% dividend tax, ordinary rate 20% withholding tax on wages, and normal rate of property tax. So international tax companies, they pay 5% corporate income tax, as I said, 5% wage tax and 0% withholding tax on dividend. So to compare which would be higher benefit, it's hard to say simply, but I think it would depend if the salary expenses of a company is higher in proportion compared to revenue. It's quite high. In that case, international company benefit will be higher.
In your opinion, what effect can these new tax exemptions can have on the interest from the IT and marine companies to start operating in Georgia?
Yes, I think interest will be high, especially in IT field, because now status of international company can be applicable for a wider range of IT services, and it can be much more beneficial than in virtual zone persons. So for many companies it could be very beneficial, but here we might face a problem of a qualification of staff. They should hire staff, and if we find qualified staff, it will be very beneficial for them. And I cannot say so much about marine shipping companies because Georgia is not developed in this field, and to be honest, I'm not well aware what was the real motivation of government to include this benefits for shipping business.
Thank you for your answers. Thank you.
Thank you.